Hello crochet friends, I hope that you guys are having a wonderful week so far. If you're new here, my name is Nikki with MontanaCrochetCreations.com. In today's video, we are going to be making this really cute crochet hat. I was actually looking for something that I could wear the entire month of December. As you all know, I live in Montana and it's already starting to get cold. It's been really windy here lately and we're already starting to get some snow. So I thought that I would like something that was done in more of a Christmas pattern. And I think this one turned out really cute. It kind of reminds me of a candy cane. So we're going to need a few things for this pattern here. What we're going to need is some number 4 worsted weight yarn. This is Red Heart Super Saver yarn in the color Cherry Red. Then we also have a number 4 from Red Heart Super Saver in the color Patty Green. And over here we have the Red Heart Super Saver number 4 yarn in the color Soft White. And then we will also need a pair of craft scissors for clipping our yarn ends. We're going to need a yarn needle for weaving in our tails. And we're going to need a number 6 or a J10 crochet hook, so 6 millimeters. And we're going to need a pom-pom maker. Now I like using the pom-pom maker. I think it makes a really consistent pom-pom at the top of the hat. All right, so go ahead, grab your materials, and I'll meet you back here in just a few minutes and we'll get started on this fun pattern. All right, so I've got my green yarn here and I've got my 6 millimeter crochet hook. And what we're going to do is we're going to start with the band portion of the crochet hat first. So we are going to create our slip stitch here and we're going to chain 11. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So what that does is, if you hold it this way, you can see how wide your band is going to be on your crochet hat. So we are going to take and do a half double crochet in the second chain from the hook. So what we have here is we have that loop that's on our hook, and then we have our first stitch here, or chain, and then we have our second chain. So our second chain is the one that we are going to do our first half double crochet in. So we're going to yarn over, insert our hook into that second chain, yarn over and pull through that loop. We're going to yarn over and pull through all 3 of those loops. So now we're going to half double crochet in each one of these chains all the way across to the very end. All right, so we're at our last stitch here. I'm doing that last half double crochet. So now we are going to chain 1 and we're turning our work. So now what we're gonna do is we are going to do our first half double crochet in the back loops only of these chains. So if you look here, let me grab this needle. If you look here, there's 2 loops right here. And this front one right here is your front post, and this is your back loop of your very first stitch. So what we're going to do is not crochet through both of them. We're only going to crochet through this back loop right here, and that's it. So let's get our hook on there, and we are going to yarn over and insert our hook into that back loop only. And you can see I'm not incorporating this front loop at all. And we're going to pull through for our first half, well, maybe for our first half double crochet. There we go. So we're going to half double crochet in the back loops of each stitch all the way across until we get to the very end. At the very end of row 2, we should have a total of 10 stitches. All right, so we're at the end of row 2, and I've crocheted in my back loops. You can see this little ridge that it's creating right here. So now we're going to chain 1, turn our work, and we're going to crochet in the back loops only all the way down till we get to the very end. So we're going to place that first half double crochet in that first back loop, and we're going to place a half double crochet in every stitch all the way down. Remember, going into the back loops only of that. So we're coming up to our very last stitch here. Chain 1 and turn our work, and we're going to start working on row 4. And so what we're going to do is we're just going to continue doing this, working in the back loops only all the way down of every single row until our headband measures about 19.5 to 20 inches, depending on the size of your head. This hat is designed to fit an average sized woman's head. So if your head's a little bit larger, then you can go ahead and crochet that. So go ahead and finish crocheting in the back loops only, doing that half double crochet all the way across. And then once you get back to the size of the band that you need, then I will meet you back and we will go from there. Alright, so you should be completely done with your band. And just make sure that it's anywhere from 19.5 to 21 inches, depending on the size of your head. I'm just doing a sample size pattern right here. So now what we're going to do, let's say we're at the very end of our row here, and our band is as long as we need it. So we are going to take our yarn, or band actually, and we're going to place them together. Let's get this, place them together, and what we're going to do is we are going to chain 1 and then we're going to slip stitch. So we're putting our hook in that chain 1 space and putting our hook through both of the loops in this back piece. And we're going to slip stitch those together. So then we're going to go into the next set of stitches here. And we are going to just slip stitch those together as well. So we're just going to repeat that all the way down to the end, just inserting our hook through both of those loops and slip stitching. This is attaching our band together and creating that circle that we need. We got one more set here. Slip stitch, slip stitch those. Now what we're going to do, and so you can see now it's like attached and it's this round loop. So what we're going to do now is we are going to start working around the top edge here of this band. So we're going to stay with our green yarn for now. We're going to chain 1 and we are going to place 1 half double crochet in each little space all the way around. By the time you get back to the very end over here on the opposite side, you want to have a total of 64 half double crochet. So we're finding that first space there and placing a half double crochet, coming back around, and then we're going to put a half double crochet in this next space here, and then we're going to find another space, place a half double crochet, and then we've got another space right there. The only tricky part as you go around is you have to keep count, because remember, like I said, even though I'm doing a smaller example here, yours is going to be the size for a small adult, man or woman, and you want to have a total of 64 half double crochet going all the way around the very top edge of this band here. So we're coming up to the very last few stitches here around the top of your band, and like I said, we're going to have a total of 64 half double crochet. So now what we're going to do, I've got one more that I need to do. Now we are going to change our yarn colors from the green to the white. So we're going to insert our hook into that very first half double crochet that we did there, and we're going to pull through. Instead of yarning over or actually for slip stitching, instead of just pulling straight through, we're going to leave our hook right here. We're going to clip our yarn, and we're going to grab our white here. So we're going to thread our white yarn all the way through here. This is how I changed my yarn colors. And then I like to take these two yarn tails right here and just tie them in a knot, so that way they don't come undone, since this hat will be getting washed in the washing machine. You want to make sure that it doesn't come undone. And then I'm going to take my yarn tails here, all three of these. Actually, that one's been woven in. We're going to take these two and we're just going to crochet over the top of them. So what we're going to do now is we're working in rounds. So we just finished round 1, and for round 2, we're going to take and place 1 half double crochet in that space where we attached our yarn. Sorry. So we're going to attach our yarn in that space. We're going to half double crochet. Man, I cannot crochet today. Then we are going to take and put 1 half double crochet in each stitch all the way around. So we're going to do this for rounds 2, 3, and 4. So go ahead and finish putting 1 half double crochet in each stitch all the way around the brim of your hat. And we're going to chain 1 and then start working on round 2. So let's finish doing this. So we're going to finish doing our 1 half double crochet in each stitch all the way around. So we're coming up here to the end, and I do apologize. Today has been one of those days and I just have word problems. I seem to can't get anything out right. So let's come up. We're going to place 1 last half double crochet, and we're going to slip stitch to the top of this very first half double crochet that we have right here. And we're going to chain 1. Normally we would turn our work, but we're not. We are working in rounds. So for round 3, we are inserting our hook into that chain 1 space and doing our first half double crochet. Then we're going to work 1 half double crochet all the way around in every single stitch until we get back to the very end, the very beginning over here. Then we're going to slip stitch to the top of that first half double crochet, chain 1, and then we're going to repeat for 1 more round. So you're going to do this pattern of 1 half double crochet in every single stitch until the end of round 4. So we're at the end of round 4, and we're going to slip stitch to the top of that first half double crochet. And what we're going to do is we're going to change to our red yarn. So let's clip that white and grab our red here, and we're going to attach it the exact same way that we did with the green and the white. So just grab your red and pull it through, and then chain 1. And again, like I said, I like to take my 2 yarn tails and just tie them in a knot, so that way they're nice and secure whenever I crochet over the top of my yarn tails. So we're going to place 1 half double crochet in that space where we just attached that red yarn, and then we're going to place 1 half double crochet in each stitch all the way around for round 5. So go ahead and continue to place 1 half double crochet in every single stitch all the way around, and then we will change back to our white yarn at the end of round 5. so we've slip stitched to the top of that first half double crochet. Let's clip our red yarn and go back to our white yarn and attach that. Let's tie a knot to secure these ends. And now we are going to place one half double crochet in each stitch all the way around for the next 3 rounds. So for rounds 6, 7, and 8, we are going to place one half double crochet in each round, or in each stitch. So let's go ahead and continue doing that, and then I will meet you back at the end of round 8. Alright, so we're at the end of round 8 and I changed to my red yarn here. So what we're going to do for round 9 is place one half double crochet all the way around, starting in that chain, that space where you attached your red yarn, in one half double crochet in each stitch, or all the way around till we get back to the very beginning. At the end of round 9, we are going to be switching back to our white yarn. Don't forget to work over the top of those yarn tails. Alright, so I switched back to my white yarn. So for round 10, what we're going to do is we're going to start doing our decrease rows. And what that's going to start doing is, you can see here where my top of my hat starts to curve in a little bit. That's because of the decrease rows. So we're going to start working on that. So the very first thing that we're going to do is we're going to single crochet these first 2 stitches right here together. So we're going to yarn over and we're going to insert our hook into that very first stitch. We're going to pull our yarn through. Instead of yarning over and pulling through all 3 of those loops, we're going to insert our hook into the very next stitch. Yarn over and pull up a loop. So now we have all 4 of these loops on our hook. We're just going to yarn over and pull through all 4 of those loops that's on our hook. And that's our first half double crochet 2 stitches together. So next we will do a half double crochet in 10 stitches, and then we're going to half double crochet 2 stitches together. Alright, so we're at our 10th stitch. So now we're going to half double crochet these next 2 stitches together. So again, yarn over and insert your hook in that next stitch and draw up a loop. You're going to yarn over and insert your hook into that very next stitch and draw up a loop. We're yarning over and pulling through all of those loops on our hook. We are going to continue to half double crochet in the next 10 stitches, and then we'll just repeat that pattern of half double crochet in 10 stitches and half double crochet 2 stitches together. So we finished with a half double crochet in the last 7 stitches. So let's slip stitch to that very first half double crochet. We're going to chain 1 and we're going to repeat this last row. We're going to, for around, what are we on? We're on round 11. So for round 11, we are going to half double crochet our first 2 stitches together. Then we are going to place 1 half double crochet again in the next 10 stitches. Now we are going to place 2, we're going to do 2 half double crochet 2 together, so these next 2 stitches. we're going to turn into 1, and then we're going to repeat that. You're going to place 1 half double crochet in 10 stitches, and then half double crochet 2 stitches together. And at the very end, you should have 3 stitches left, and you're going to put 1 half double crochet in those last 3 stitches. All right, so for round 12, we are going to start with a half double crochet 2 stitches together. And as you can see, the hat's starting to curve in and take shape a little bit. So now we are going to place 1 half double crochet in each of the following 5 stitches. So we're going to place 1 half double crochet in 5 stitches. And then we'll half double crochet 2 stitches together. Then half double crochet in 5 stitches again. And at the end of this round, you should have 3 stitches at the very end, and you will just put 1 half double crochet in those last 3 stitches. All right, so we're at the end of round 12, and I've changed to my green yarn, and we're still going to continue with our decrease rounds. So we're going to half double crochet these first 2 stitches together. Then we're going to place a half double crochet in the next 4 stitches. And we're going to half double crochet the next 2 stitches together. And we're going to repeat that all the way around of placing half double crochet 2 stitches together, then doing 4 half double crochet, and then half double crocheting 2 stitches together. You're going to repeat that pattern all the way until you get back to the very beginning. Alright, so for round 14, we're going to continue doing our decrease rounds. So we're half double crocheting our first 2 stitches together. We're going to half double crochet in each of the next 4 stitches. We're going to half double crochet 2 stitches together, and then place 1 half double crochet in the next 4 stitches. And we're just going to repeat that all the way around till we get back to the beginning. 4 stitches with 1 half double crochet in each, and then half double crochet 2 together for the next 2 stitches. Alright, so we're coming up and we're going to slip stitch to that first half double crochet. And now for round 15, this is going to be our final decrease round. So we're going to chain 1, and we're still going to half double crochet these first 2 stitches together. We're then going to place 1 half double crochet in the next 4 stitches. And we're going to half double crochet 2 of these stitches together. And we're just going to repeat that all the way around of 1 half double crochet in 4 stitches, then half double crochet 2 stitches together. You can see the hat's already starting to take shape. We're going to finish with there's your 2 half double crochet 2 together, and finish with 1 half double crochet in that very last stitch. So now what we're going to do is we are going to slip stitch to this first half double crochet, and we're going to fasten off and cut ourselves a pretty decent sized tail. Pull Pull this through and fasten off our yarn. Now what we're going to need, where'd my yarn needle go? Oh, here it is. We're going to take our yarn needle. So we're going to take our yarn needle and we're going to thread our green yarn through our yarn needle. And this is what I like to do. So I take my yarn needle and I just kind of, make sure that's not knotted up, weave back and forth through each one of the loops of these stitches here on the top. And I'm going to work my way all the way around the top of this hat. And as I'm working my way around, I'm pulling this tail tight. And what that is doing is it's closing up this opening here at the very top of the hat. So keep working all the way around. Pull that nice and tight. We've got 2 little spots left. Pull it nice and tight. And see, it's closed up your top of your hat. So now what I like to do is I just kind of like to go back and forth across the top here. Oops, not. And just make sure that it is nice and secure. And it's definitely not going to come undone. And we don't have to worry about the way it looks. It's going to be covered by a pom-pom anyway. So just go back and forth here. And we'll go one more time. And now I'm just going to weave my yarn tails through. And remember, a good rule of thumb with weaving your yarn tails in is you want to go back and forth over the same spot if you can, at least 3 times. So then that way it's nice and secure and locked into place, and you won't have to worry about it coming undone in the washing machine. So let's clip our yarn. And there's that. So there's the little hat portion that's done. So now we're going to grab our pom-pom maker and get to working on the pom-pom. So go ahead and grab your pom-pom maker and then I'll meet you right back. Alright, so this is my pom-pom maker. This is the small, not the smallest one, but I want to say like the medium size. This brand is Clover and I really, really like it. It's super simple to use and I really enjoy it using for the pom-poms because it makes a nice, I guess kind of like a more uniform sort of pom-pom. So what we're going to do is we're going to take every single color of our yarn here and we're just going to line those up. Let me grab my white. Line those up. And these pom-pom makers usually have directions with them, but what I like to do is I take both of my pieces out and then I take these 3 little pieces right here. I just hold them nice and tight right up against the back of that there. And then I just start wrapping. What I'm going to do is wrap all the way along the edge here of this little U that we've got going on that creates the pom-pom. Once I get to the end, then I'm going to go right back to down the other side, and I'm going to, this white yarn, it's driving me nuts. Okay, I'm going to continue to wrap this around until it's as thick as I want it to be. So a good rule of thumb for your pom-pom maker when you're wrapping it around is I like to have my yarn pieces about flush with these 2 green here. So now I'm going to clip these 2 pieces down, and as you see, I've got my yarn right here and it's very close to this next side. So what I'm going to do is take my yarn, and you can see the little slit that's right here. Actually, and I'm going to wrap around these 2 pieces just like this. And so I'm going to continue to wrap around on this side, repeating exactly what I did on the other side. making sure there's no gaps, no little holes. Sometimes it's easier to just switch here. There we go. And just wrap it around until your pom-pom yarn is about as thick as on the other side. It's a little more difficult to do filming than it is on its own, but that's okay. There we are. So now we're going to take and just push this over, and what I like to do is I just kind of like to clip my yarn right about at the very top of that right there. So now we've got our pom-pom and we've got our yarn, and it's secured in there just enough. So what we're going to do next is we're going to hold on to this. So I push this bottom piece in my palm and I hold on to these two plastic pieces with my middle finger and my thumb. And I take my scissors and I just come through. You have to be careful because if these come loose, then your pom-pom's going to kind of fall apart. So actually I'm going to put my hand on top here. It seemed like it wanted to come undone. And I'm just going to continue to clip my yarn all the way around. As you can see there's this little ridge here, and that's where your scissors are going to follow. Clipping that pom-pom. Then I make sure that I go and I clip through this little ridge right here, and then I start clipping again. Obviously my scissors aren't going to fit all the way through there, so then once I get to a point where I can take them out and start clipping in that ridge again down the other side, that's what I do. Okay, so now we need to decide what color, and it doesn't really matter what color we have. I've got this extra green that was left over from weaving in my hat. So we're going to take our yarn and we're going to run it through where that little ridge is. See that? That's what that ridge is actually meant for. Then we're going to flip it over and come around to the top of our pom-pom. Sorry, that was really close. And just pull it really tight. And as you pull it tight, the yarn slips through that little gap right there. So let's tie another knot and pull it through really tight, and I like to do it for a third time. Now we've got it nice and secure, and we don't have to worry about it coming undone. So what we're going to do is we're just going to take these top two little pieces here, pull that down, and then we're going to go around to this other side here and pull those top two little pieces up. Now we can take right here, you can see there are little round plastic things on each side, and just kind of wiggle it and it comes undone. And then what do we have there? Now we've got this really cute little pom-pom that's in all of the colors of our little candy cane little crochet Christmas hat here. So let's take and grab our yarn needle. Actually, we don't need the yarn needle. I'll show you an easier way to do it. So we're going to grab our hat here. And we've got our pom-pom. Obviously mine's a sample size and that pom-pom is overkill for this hat, but that's okay. So we're going to take our crochet hook and we're going to insert it through one of those stitches that's right there along the top where we closed up that hole. And we're just going to pull that through. Then we're going to come to this side here. And we're going to insert our crochet hook from the bottom of the hat over to the other side. You can see I'm in a different spot. I'm going to grab that yarn and pull it through. Now what we can do is take and flip our hat wrong side out. We just take our yarn and tie it off into a couple of little knots here. And then once we do that, then we'll clip it down to our desired length, and then we'll take our yarn needle and we'll weave our yarn ends into the hat. And then that is it. So that's what we have right there. So this one obviously is a small one, but this is the size of the hat that you guys are all making. So I hope that you guys really enjoyed making this cute crochet hat. I think it totally reminds me of a candy cane. Thank you for sticking around in my whole babbling and not being able to get my words right today. I really do appreciate it. I hope you guys all have a wonderful holiday season, and make sure that you don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment on my channel. Don't forget to ring that notification bell, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.